Welcome, Facebook! Welcome to the very first Southern Gateway Chorus live stream. I am your host, Zach Coleman, and I am so stoked about this first one. I see we've got some people coming in. What's going on, everybody? We got a Zinc in here. What's going on? Before we go too much farther, I would like to introduce our very first co-host for the SGC live stream. Please welcome the one and only director of the Southern Gateway Chorus, Jeff Legters.
Hey everyone, thanks Zach. It's really cool to be part of this inaugural voyage of the live stream, so I'm pretty excited about it. Anxious to see how it turns out.
Alrighty, well, let's just talk about the stream for a second, Jeff. Just to kind of clear up any confusion as to what the heck this might be. The vision that I see is that it's kind of a variety show style, bunch of gateway stuff show. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, absolutely. This is us just trying different things, and this is a way that we're trying to kind of satisfy our own itch to entertain and reach our fans and our friends, and hopefully provide a little bit of entertainment and some interest as well. So, yeah, I expect it's going to morph over time into what we see working, and I'm glad that you're at the helm.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I think it's just been rough these last couple of months. Just, you know, we can't even really get together. There's really not a lot of singing going on, and that means that, I mean, how many contests aren't happening? That's a lot, man.
Too many.
Too many, very too many. So what do you say, Jeff? You want to just hop right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty. Well, we've got a clip ready for you guys. We have a lot of clips ready for you guys, actually. This first one is very special. I think it's probably the only way we really could start this. This is a video from our 1993 Swan set. I was alive for this, actually. That was the year I was born. Directed by Jim Miller, and it's just one song from that Swan set. Here we go.
1992 International Chorus Champions under the direction of Jim Miller, Southern Gateway Chorus.
Led by a man of the same brand, Glenn Miller's fabulous nephew Jim. Doing me boy, that's happening to you. Yeah, man, track 29, track 29. just you and I, a summer sky, a heavenly breeze, kissing the trees so low. Miss, what you call it, what you doing tonight? Hope you're in the mood because I'm feeling just right. How's about a quarter with a tape for two? Where the music mellow and some dark pretty blue. There's sentimental with a blue attitude. You gotta do some dance to get in the mood. Miss, what you call it, what you doing tonight? Hope you're in the mood because I'm feeling just right. How's about a quarter with a tape for two? Where the music mellow and some dark pretty blue. There's sentimental with a blue attitude. You gotta do some dance to get in the mood. In the mood to what? In the mood to what? In the mood to what? Feel like to get the job, you gotta learn how. Miss, what you call it, what you doing tonight? Hope you're in the mood because I'm feeling just right. How's about a quarter with a tape for two? Where the music's mellow and some dark when you move. There's a dance with a blue attitude. You gotta do some dance to get in the mood. Miss, what you call it, what you doing tonight? Hope you're in the mood because the feeling is right. How's about a quarter with a tape for two? Where the music's mellow and some dark when you move. There's a dance with a blue attitude. You gotta do some dance to get in the mood. Miss, what you do tonight? Hope you're in the mood, feeling is right. How's about a quarter with a tape for two? Where the music's mellow and some dark when you move. There's a dance with a blue attitude. You gotta do some dance to get in the mood. In the mood to what? In the mood to what? In the mood to what? Feel like to get the job, you gotta learn how.
And that was Jim Miller directing the Miller Medley, which is the joke in the beginning, his nephew Jim. That was that. What do you think, Jeff?
Not really Glenn Miller's nephew.
You don't know that.
What do I think? I think that was awesome. That's fun, so fun to watch that video. That was 1 year before I joined Gateway. And I was in the audience there. That was in Calgary in 93, the year after Gateway won the gold in 92 in New Orleans. And that song, to me, just epitomizes the spirit of Southern Gateway. First of all, Jim Miller, is just the ultimate performer and loved by absolutely everyone. So cool to see that. I did have the absolute pleasure of singing under Jim's direction for a couple years. So that was a super highlight for me. But then, Zach, that arrangement, Don Gray did for the chorus, and I think it's just a brilliant piece of arranging. And we've been blessed by so many Don Gray charts over the years, but I think Miller Medley is absolutely just one of the coolest things he put together, and that version of Southern Gateway brought to life so well.
Yeah, man. The legend Don Gray. He's done how many arrangements in general, but even just for the chorus?
I can't even begin to fathom how many over the years.
No way, man.
Decades and decades worth of great charts.
Right, and I love that song too. That song hits me in a good way because first of all, it's the medley, so you've got a lot of different things that come together. I love that, and so many moving parts. We had a bassist on stage that was Bill Harnish. We had two different trios, one of tenors, one of basses, that did a boom, 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 and one that did a do-wah. So cool. Coming into our soloists, actually one of those tenors was Don Gray. Going into our soloists, Brian Barf.
That I noticed was, Larry Finley So when he sings his very short bass line, turns around and there's just this great audience applause. Over the years, I've learned that Larry Finley is the one person I know that can speak a single word or sing a single word and somehow get applause from an audience.
Isn't that so annoying? Oh my God, I wish I could do that.
Yeah,
Good
but
Lord.
that song
yeah.
is just classic Southern Gateway in my mind.
Yeah.
For what again, we've done that song. We brought it back a couple different times since then, but I do think that absolutely is the best group that's performed that version.
Oh, sure. And then you've got that quartet at the end. We've got who are those guys, Jeff?
So Chad St. John was singing lead in that group.
Correct.
I think Steve Swanson was the tenor. We had
Okay.
Paul Gilman on baritone, and Steve Thacker was the bass.
You got 100 points for each. Good job.
Thank you.
Somebody tally the points at home.
That was 93, so that was when Paul Gilman was only a single gold medalist baritone.
And we would come to find his... Name the quartet. Go ahead.
Marquis in 95.
Very good.
So.
All right. Well, that's great. Let's just go on ahead and move on to the next one, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
This next video, I feel just kind of, we're talking about hitting the heart of Gateway, and I think this really does hit the heart of Gateway. Just talking about the real dedication to the craft that we have. This is a clip of our current script writer, Gary Ellerhorst, doing a character that he created many years ago. And I just think it really just shows how much we really are looking to put forward for this chorus.
True style and beauty.
Gentlemen, it gives me great privilege right now to present to you our very first amateur act of the evening. Why, this young lady has traveled all the way from, where you from, honey?
I'm from right over there.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, a big warm applause for Miss Zelda O'Flutie.
What key do you do this in?
Huh?
I'll play something, you pick it up. Here we go.
Well, that was a video.
Style,
Gary-
beauty, and grace.
That's exactly what Gary is. Gary has... How long has Gary actually done that? Was that the first appearance of Zelda?
That was that character. The character's name was Zelda O'Flutie, and that was the first appearance. Unfortunately, of many. No, I don't. It's not unfortunately at all. So that was the first of, I think, 4 or 5 appearances that Zelda has made over the years since then, and each one of them was quite memorable, for sure.
Yeah, I can remember So let's go ahead and incept real quick. Zelda O'Flutie played Lola in our production of Damn Redlegs.
Yes.
Which was obviously a takeoff of Damn Yankees. Was her name Lola in that? It might not. I think it was. It was.
I think it was.
So Gary Ellerhorst played Zelda playing Lola in Damn Redlegs, and I just remember the first show of it. I was a kid when we did that show, and there was a scene where Lola and the Devil go into the stands, and they had a little border in front of the risers, and we were the guys in the stands while the baseball game was happening. And she walked by me, and I don't know what, I was just in character, I guess. As she walked by, I just went, ugh, and the crowd lost it. And I was like, all right, cool, I guess it's okay. So yeah, she's had some great moments, honestly.
So that clip that you just showed, that was from back in the Roaring 20s.
Another 100 points, good job.
Which was 1991. Right, also before my time, and that I think that was I was talking to Gary about this show, and that was the last show I think that Pat Iasello wrote for us, and Pat created so many great scripts and shows for Gateway over the year. A lot of people know Gateway from the competition scene, from
Sure.
the international competitions, and haven't really seen this side. But our guys absolutely love to put these kinds of shows on and just kind of goof around for our audience and have a good time. And so then Pat kind of handed the reins over to Gary, and Gary's been our writer ever since in creating our shows.
And he does a great job of it. Gary's got a long list of greatest hits, and I'm sure that we'll see them over the time in the stream.
And that piano player, and I didn't know this at the time, but again,
Okay.
Gary told me this. That piano player is Bob Kraft, that was playing the piano there, and Bob was one of the early directors of Gateway. Bob was, I think, our second director, and right up until Tom Gentle took over, I think right around 1960. So
look at
cool
you,
to see
Mr.
that,
History buff.
decades later, and Bob's sitting there playing the piano. Really cool.
Well, that's super cool. Just as a little heads up for anybody watching, we are keeping an eye on the chat. We're seeing a lot of hellos. Hello to everybody. Hello from, let's see, we've got a hello from Canada. We've got a hello from Erie, PA. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I guess that's kind of the halfway point. Let's keep going, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
So this next clip is kind of our attempt at finding the next step of entertainment. So through all this isolation that we've been going through, this stream was the product of how do we get back in front of our audiences? How do we still have a chance to entertain and bring some form of happiness and entertainment to our audiences when we can't actually go out? And it turned out that the answer was the internet. I don't know why we're surprised. But we kind of realized that we can change the form a little bit here. So we thought, what are some things that people like watching on the internet? How can we bring those things to them? So we decided we would make a little how-to video. And here's what that looks like.
Southern Gateway Chorus proudly presents how to put up a mailbox.
Step 1. Rake dirt. Mulch. Rake mulch.
I spent 25 years on my hands and knees mulching. So now I'm going to use a rake. It's a lot easier on my knees and back.
Step 2. Measure the post.
According to the website, it needs to be approximately 2 feet off of the ground, with the mailbox being approximately 41 to 45 inches from the street.
What do you think, Pop?
I wonder why Dungeons and Dragons is still a game.
I agree. What do you think? Show off.
Step 2.5. Take off the house number.
Step 3. Chainsaw time.
I can see here, this is actually a cedar timber, which is actually good because we all know that cedar is something that grows in the area. Now, sometimes you see those things on the side of the road that you call white cedars, and they are not actually cedared at all. They're more like junipers that we call white cedars.
Step 4. Level the playing field.
All right, bubbles hanging on the left side. Look good?
That's perfect. Step 5.
So, I mean, you got to put a little pressure behind it.
I'm trying to put pressure
Well, you don't have a lot of pressure, so you got to put more pressure behind
I'm doing
it.
my best to put pressure behind
Oh,
it.
jeez. Now you knocked the thing over.
I meant to knock it. Step 6. Put the top on.
Job well done.
Now it's time to go enjoy a delicious carb-free dessert type product.
Right. Clean up.
This has been the Southern Gateway Chorus presents.
All right. Well, yeah. So that's a really good take of what are some of our guys doing while we're not able to actually get together and sing.
That's true. That's true.
You know, as performers, you know, I know singers everywhere are suffering through not being able to be with the people that they sing with and be able
Absolutely.
to perform for audiences. So, kind of cool to get a glimpse into what's happening. Obviously, a little comedic view there with you and your dad. But
Yeah.
so you and your dad have been singing together in Gateway for how long now?
That's not the fairest thing to say. I joined when I was 10 years old, so that was about 17 years ago. But I've kind of been singing barbershop since about age 2. I think Dad might have a recording of that somewhere. And when we went back and did our first holiday CD, which is on sale for, I don't have that number off the top of my head. When we did that, I was singing in the Cincinnati Children's Choir, who was the choir that joined Gateway for, what's the name of the song, Jeff?
It was 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Was the Night Before Christmas? Good. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, that was. So I guess I've been singing with my dad with Gateway for about 17 years, but you could take that back further, I think.
So I will say anybody who knows Zach should check out that recording. It's called Sounds of the Season, and you'll find 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and you'll be treated to the wonderful boy soprano of Zach Coleman.
And you know, I think I can still sing that high too. And I'm not the only one who's been singing with a dad or with family in this chorus. We've had a lot of families in the chorus. We had the Reens, we've had Brian and John Zink at different times and also together on occasion, and you, of course.
Yeah, you're gonna test my memory, but there's been a lot of father-son kind of combinations in the chorus over the years. So I'm not gonna try to name them all.
Sure.
But I do remember one show where we actually brought out all of the families that were part of the show, and it was an impressive view at that one snapshot in time. And I've been part of that as well. So my dad lives, I don't know, 300 miles away, but a few years ago started driving down to join us at rehearsals every week.
Right.
As we led up to, I think, Nashville. The Nashville International Competition, and
Sure.
joined us on stage there, and has been on stage with us multiple times since then, and really, really special.
And not just for contest either. To his credit, he's coming around for like holiday shows and all that stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, he loves it. He'd do it all the time if he could. Although he has his own chorus back home to sing with as well.
Sure. And I mean that just goes to show the actual family element of this style. Is just, I mean, how many different families are just in barbershop? That's what this style does. Is it says, okay, well, I'm gonna get married. I have to have 2 kids so we can sing barbershop. It doesn't matter after that.
Yep. I see Paul in the chats mention the Smith family. We got Bear and Jess Pelser.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Ellerhorst family.
Sure.
Father and sons over the years. Lots and lots of stuff.
Going further than that, my Uncle Joe sings in the chorus with us. My brother-in-law Matt sings in the chorus with us. Like, we've got families everywhere, man. And even further than that, a chorus, especially like Gateway, just becomes family. Like when I was a wee little tot, my dad was singing in the chorus before me, his dad before him, and they were always just uncles and grandpas to me. Like, that's just the way that Gateway is. I've always felt that way.
Yeah, it really is that way, and I know a lot of groups feel that way about their membership, and Gateway is absolutely no exception there. It is a huge, just loving family that it's a blessing to be a part of.
Absolutely. I mean, blessing is exactly the word that I would use.
So, do you think we're going to see more videos like that in the future? As what are some of our members doing during quarantine?
I think so, man. I think that as soon as the membership really grabs on and says, all right, let's go ahead and do this, we're gonna get some good stuff. I've been talking with some guys about some videos they want to make, and I'm really excited to see what's gonna come next. I really am.
All right.
All right. Well, let's hit this next one real quick. This next clip is hard to explain. We did a show called Eternally Pinstriped, which, in case you haven't noticed, we like to make those puns. It was a playoff of the show Forever Plaid, in which the jazz quartet dies and puts on a show that they didn't get to put on before. Well, in our version, we didn't die, because you can't kill a barbershop chorus on a barbershop stage. Not the best idea. So instead, our bus just disappears. And we ended up in heaven because they wanted a performance before we got to our next show. So this is the closer for that show, where we take everything and we just put it all together. So I hope you enjoy Lady of Spain.
The Ed Sullivan Show, brought to you by the Lincoln Mercury division of the Ford Motor Company, featuring Mercury Monterey with Merco-Matic Drive.
The most beautiful car in the road is a Mercury. The most wonderful styling of all is found in a Mercury. It's redesigned for 54. There's fashion, beauty, style galore, and it stops on a Mercury dime. The wonderful, beautiful, glorious, glamorous, great new Mercury.
And now, for the big finale, the Southern Gateway Chorus presents, right here on this stage, the entire Ed Sullivan Show in 3 minutes and 17 seconds.
Lady of Spain, I adore you. Right from the night I first saw you, my heart has been yearning for you. What else could any heart do? Lady of Spain, I'm appealing. Why should my lips be concealing all that my eyes are revealing? Lady of Spain, I love you. Nights in Madrid, blue and tender. Spanish moon makes silver splendor. Music throbbing plaintive, sobbing notes on a guitar. The lonely Caballero serenade.
And now live from the Metropolitan Opera. And from the Sound of Music.
Right from the night I first saw you,
My name is a minute.
my heart has been yearning for you.
Hey, Bernie, I saw your lips move. I saw your lips move.
What else could
Is that right?
Why should my lips be concealing? Just cried all the time. All that my eyes are revealing.
Kiss Topo Gigio good night.
Lady of Spain,
I think I hurt myself.
So, like we saw in the beginning, this is what happens when we take a lot of moving parts and throw them together. Which, again, is just one of my favorite things ever, is to just have the chorus doing its thing and just say, what can we put in here? What can we put in there? And that's the result.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Again, that was Gary Ellerhorst. It was featured there on the solo, and once again demonstrating the many twisted ways of Gary, which we absolutely love. Zach, that was from Eternally Pinstriped.
That is correct.
You mentioned kind of the spoofs of the show, so that's one of the things from our shows that we've done over the years is taken popular shows or musicals and done a twist on them. So you mentioned Damn Redlegs, which was a spoof on Damn Yankees.
Correct.
We've done Oliver with a Twist.
Exactly, as opposed to Oliver Twist, yeah.
East Side, West Side Story.
Our spoof of West Side Story, yeah.
Yes, which was a little Cincinnati flavor of that, which was fun.
Literally flavor. I think instead of one of the characters getting stabbed, he got chili on his sweater.
He did. He got a three-way chili in the face. So
that he did.
So,
oh no, that was you actually.
That was me. I was Tony in that production.
And who was Maria?
But what's that?
Do you remember who Maria was?
It might.
Because I remember who it was.
It was. Was it Gary?
It was Zelda.
It was Zelda. Zelda.
Gary as Zelda as
playing. Yeah. Of course it was.
We're having partception.
Why wouldn't it be? Yeah. So that was, you saw at the very end. That was Paul Gilman directing, and Paul directed us for nearly a decade.
Yeah, man.
There at the end, and again, that's just a fun production number. So many guys in Gateway were involved in all the antics there on the stage, and that show, our guest quartet was Fred, and you saw them making some appearances.
That's right.
And doing what they do best, which is
being
just
goofballs.
Stage. So, and then also there was a father-son duo that was part of that, right, Zach?
Yeah. So I don't remember. This song was actually performed in Forever Plaid, or by somebody, and most of those bits were actually the ones that were used for that. One of them was Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, and they would just have a puppet to do it. And we decided, well, I guess I don't know if it was PK or Gary or who it was, but they were like, "Hey, we have a kid who is, ridiculously small." And his dad's a pretty strong guy. Why don't we just send them out? And so we did, and it was one of those things where every time we did this, on this show, every show of it, and anywhere we did it outside of there, the second we walked out, everybody knew what was happening and lost their minds. And we wanted to kind of, I had been acting for a bit now. I've been doing performance for a long time, so my thought was, okay, gotta give them a chance to laugh, so we'll just stand there for a minute. Now, here's the problem that I came across. Number one, I don't want to just stand there for 20 minutes. And number two, my dad's arm's going to fall off at some point. So I ended up getting to the point where I was like, I'm going to wait until it dies down enough, just say it, and we'll call it done. So on this show, you might have noticed, we went out and did it twice. Because when we were going back, I don't remember who was waiting for us. It might have been PK or Paul Gilman, excuse me. It might have been somebody else, I don't know. But they were like, no, they didn't hear you. Go do it again. We were like, okay, we're going to go do it again. And even then, we couldn't find a spot. So that was another fun one. And actually, there was a post on, I think, Tumblr or Facebook a long time ago where someone said, there was a moment when your parents put you down and never picked you up again. And they were trying to be like deep and stuff. And I just look at that and go, no, I know exactly when it was. It was a show we were outside. But I mean, again, just one of my favorite bits that we did, honestly. And a lot of great performers in there too, actually. Howie Haskins was our angel announcer guy.
Yep.
You got to throw him some props. Howie's one of those guys with just a fantastic voice, fantastic stage.
He does.
presence.
We've made use of that beautiful radio voice of Howie for years. Again, over the decades.
All right, Jeff. Well, let's go ahead and lean into our last segment, which actually I think is going to be more of a bring a tradition to our viewers. Every week at Southern Gateway, we end our rehearsal by singing the Irish Blessing. It is an arrangement. I mean, we've been doing it for as long as I've been around, Jeff.
Yeah, same. I don't know when it started, but it was long before I joined the chorus.
And this song has actually become a huge tradition for us. It's not just the way we close our rehearsals because it's the thing that we do. We go around and sing funerals of past Gateway guys, and this is the last song we sing to them before it ends. This is the song that I think just really describes Gateway. I mean, if you just look at the lyrics, it's all about may things go well for you, and at the very end, until we meet again, may he hold you in his hand. We're always going to be there for each other because that's who we are as Gateway.
Yeah, and we mentioned to start the show tonight the Miller medley, which was one of those Don Gray masterpieces. This is a Don Gray masterpiece for a different reason. I mean, he wrote and arranged this for the chorus, and it just, I don't know if that was his intent when he did it. But it just became part of our DNA, and it's just something that Gateway has always done and likely will always do, as part of that brotherhood.
Absolutely, I fully agree. Well, on behalf of the Southern Gateway Chorus, I'd like to thank you all for joining us on this first of our Southern Gateway Chorus streams. I hope we see you next week. Big thanks to Jeff Legters, the director of the Southern Gateway Chorus, for joining us on this first one.
Thanks, Zach.
Here's the Irish Blessing. Night, everybody.
May